and Assalamualaikum. Thank you again for watching this video. So please subscribe, like and share. So today we'll talk about the computer network. This video we discuss about the computer network. What is the network? Network means that you are connected. Okay, you are connected. So in a computer network, that means several computers are connected together so they can do the communication. So computer networks refer to the computer, and network is refer to the set of devices that connected together via the communication links and allow them to do the communications. So a nodes can be a computer, printer or any other devices. Nodes refer to device that connected together. So when you are connected together, you are allowed to send the data, you are allowed to receive the data, you are allowed to share the resources, file, data, information, video and audio. So in a network, so that means you are connected together. So it's allow you to do communications. That the device that connected we call as a node. So in network criteria, there are parameters that we are used to measure the network. First, we go for the performance. Measure in many ways, including the response time and transit time. Means that when we have a network, we have devices that connect together. We can identify or we can do the testing on the performance of the network. We can check the response time when you transmit the data from one device to another device. The response time for transmission, and this performance is depends on the number of user and the type of transmission that you use. Type of transmission medium is referred to type of cable that you use. If you use twisted wire, it will be different when you use the fiber optic cable. So that means the hardware that they use in order to set up a network will affect the performance of your network. Okay. Second, we have the reliability, means the accuracy of delivery, the time it take the link to recover from failure. Okay. Reliability of your network. And the third part is the security, how secure your network. When you have several devices that connected together, how the security issues, what are the security element that have involved in your network. Do you apply a firewall? Do you have antivirus or so on? So security of data from unauthorized access or viruses that can disturb or hack your network. So that are the criteria of network that you should think and you should what we call it as elements that you should take note when you want to create a network. Okay, and then in the network we have the physical structure, type of connection. Type of connection, it can be point to point from one device to another device. Okay, two and only two devices are connected by a dedicated link or dedicated wire or dedicated wireless. Second part, we have the multi-point, three or more devices that share a link. So two type of connection, point to point and multi-point. So this figure show how point to point connection, and figure E show point to point connection. We have two station or two device that connected using one link. Okay, the second figure here we have multi-point. We have several devices, more than two, three or more devices that connected together, and it used the multi-point. So this mainframe connected to many stations using one cable. Okay, the next part we go for the network topology. So network topology is about the layout of your network. So it's known as the physical topology. So the way which network is laid out physically, how we arrange the nodes, multiple devices in your network. So for basic topology in this chapter, we have mesh topology, star topology, bus topology, and ring topology. So we look at mesh topology first. At mesh topology, all the devices are connected together, and the number of channel is based on this formula: n multiplied with n minus 1 in the bracket, and then divide by 2. So this is your mesh topology. That's mean all the devices, let's say you have 5, so these 5 devices are connected together via a dedicated link. So let's say this PC have wired to this PC, this PC has wired to this PC, and it also has wired to this PC and this PC, so it connected together. So let's say one wired break down, so this PC still can communicate to the this PC. So that is one of the advantage if we use the mesh topology. Okay, it also can eliminate the traffic problem, because every devices, when they want to send a signal or they want to send a data or transmit any data, they use their own path, they use their own channel, so we can eliminate the traffic problem or traffic issues. Okay, robust one's breakdowns, the others still can be used. Privacy and security, because every device have a dedicated link, so it is more secure compared to you can just send out your data and pick the data to travel a lot of link in order to communicate to other devices. And easy to reroute, easy to identify where the problem occur, because every device have their own path or link. Disadvantage for this mesh topology, the amount of cable increase. If you have a lot of devices, so you need more cable in order to create a connection between each devices. Number of input output port also will be increased, because each device need to have a dedicated port for input and port for output for different device if they want to communicate with many device. So wiring can be greater than space, and it will be expensive. So that are for the mesh topology. Okay, the next topology we will discuss about the star topology. So this topology, it look like a star, it has a center we call as hub, and all the devices connected to this hub in order to do communication. So let's say this PC want to communicate with this PC, so it will send the data through this hub. So this hub will forward the data into this PC based on the address. Okay, each point has a dedicated point to point only to a central controller that we call hub. So it does not allow direct traffic between devices. So advantage for this star, this one is easy to create, easy to configure, less cabling compared to the mesh topology, and easy to too easy for identification and for isolation. Disadvantage, more cabling required compared to some other topology, but the number of cable still lesser compared to the mesh topology. Okay, the next topology is bus topology. So it looks like a bus, it has a long cable, we call that cable as the backbone. So this backbone will link to a lot of devices in the network. So devices we call node connected to the bus by drop line and tape. So we have a long backbone line cable. So, and then each of devices will be connected to that backbone line. So this one is easy to install and use less cable with one long backbone. Disadvantages for this part: difficult to reconfigure, and if any tap to the backbone will degrade the quality of network, and fall of the backbone will stop all the transmission. So let's look here. We have the bus topology. So this one is the backbone cable, and these are all the devices or nodes that connected to this backbone cable using the drop line and tap. So if this backbone cable break down, the whole communication or the whole network are breakdown. We cannot do anything, we cannot communicate to each other because the main cable already break down. That is the main disadvantage for this part. And say, let's see this device A, this device D. So A want to send data to D, so the data must travel a long way. So the more devices that you have in your bus topology, the signal become weaker and weaker. Okay, the next one is ring topology. It's look like a ring. This one is look like a ring. So a lot of devices will connected together. Signal pass along the ring from one device to another device until it reach the destination. So each device act as the repeater in order to forward again that signal. Advantage: easy to install and reconfigure. Disadvantages: unidirectional traffic, means when you send the data, it will go travel to the ring until it meets the device that they want to send the data. And a break in a link in a ring can disable the entire network. So let's say here one cable is breakdown, so the entire network cannot be communicate because it one-way communication. Okay, the next part is the hybrid technology. So we use here the combination of more than one topology in one topology. So for example, here we have bus topology and it combined with the star topology. So we call this one is the hybrid topology. So that's all for the computer network. Okay, the main thing you need to know what is the network, the definition of the network. After you know the definition of the network, you should know what are the elements that's very important when you want to establish a network. What are the connection between a network, type of the connection, point to point, multi-point, and then what are the topology that we can use in order to implement the network. So see you in the next video.